everybody. My name is Alejandra Warren. I am the co-founder and executive director of Plastic Free Future. We are a brand new nonprofit. We started doing work last year, and we've done so much. Thank you all for being here. If you're here already, you know a lot about the plastic crisis already, I'm sure. But something that is a little bit harder to understand is the connection between the plastic crisis, the climate crisis, and environmental racism. So what I want to talk about today is the connection between those things. The plastic crisis is the climate crisis. Plastics are made of fossil fuels. From extraction to disposal, every single step of the cycle of plastics emits greenhouse gases. So that's something that we really need to think about when we're talking about plastics. They are exacerbating the climate crisis. And not only that, but they're also disproportionately affecting Black and brown communities. Cancer Alley is mostly Black neighborhoods and communities. They are the ones at the beginning of plastic production. Southeast Asian and Latin American communities, they are having to handle the plastics coming from California. So every single piece of plastic that we're using has a consequence from beginning to end. So how are we going to get rid of this problem? I want to thank our city council so much. We, together with our Reusable San Mateo County Coalition, Pacific Beach Coalition, and other amazing environmental organizations from Pacifica, we passed policy to Mayor Mary Beer and the rest of the City Council, and they voted unanimously to pass this policy. So please, please help me thank our City Council for advancing this amazing ordinance. Not only is going to help us reduce a bunch of plastic, but most importantly, is going to help us reduce single use. That's the problem that we have. We can't switch from plastic to compostable, from plastic to fiber. That is not the solution, because when we're thinking about single use, that is the actual problem. So what City Council did was add an amendment to the policy that is going to make every single restaurant in Pacifica to serve our food in reusable materials. That means that when you go to a restaurant, you're going to get a real plate, real fork, real spoon, not compostable, not biodegradables, but reusables. Imagine, it's something that we can use thousands, if not millions of times. And that is where the real impact is. So please educate yourselves about the climate crisis, but also, really important, the connection that this crisis has with environmental justice, with racism, with waste colonialism, with environmental colonialism. Our actions are impacting other communities, not only around the world, but also Black and brown communities in the United States. So I invite you to stop by our tables. We have a table at the Farmers Market in Pacifica, Wednesday afternoon, Half Moon Bay, Saturday morning. We were just there right now. Please talk to our science advisor, Matt Warren. He's just right here, co-founder of Plastic Free Future. He's a scientist. He's an expert in these issues: climate change, environmental justice, plastic crisis. And there's a lot of hope. I know it sounds terrible, but there's hope. Every single day we talk to little kids that know everything about this. We were just having a conversation with a mom, and this 5-year-old pulls her skirt, and she's like, "Mom, you didn't know this? I knew all of this already." And I just felt like, oh my gosh, we're in great hands. But in the meantime, while those 5-year-olds, 10-year-olds, 15-year-olds get to make bigger changes, we need to support them. And we really need to educate ourselves about eco-anxiety, because that is something that is affecting younger generations. It affected me. I had to learn how to cope with the anxiety of our world being destroyed. So please, parents and teachers, educate yourselves around the eco-anxiety issues so you can support your children, so you can help them cope with these issues and make this suffering and depression into some action. Join the Pacific Beach Coalition, join Plastic Free Future, volunteer. There's a lot of hope, and thank you so much for being here today.
Well, maybe I thought you should close it out, Alejandra. You guys, no one has worked harder on getting the ordinances through. And no one has worked harder in the county to advance their initiatives as well as Alejandra Warren and her husband, Matt. So thank you, Alejandra and Matt. I want to give you a big hearty thank you.